Welcome back, y'all. It's Mr. Leveridge, and today we're going to go over Unit 1, Day 2, which is going to talk about Islamic influence in Southeast Asia, particularly in India. Reminders before we get started, please make sure you have your history notebook with you out, and you're taking notes as we move through the video, and please make sure that you complete the vocabulary for this video, which will be on the next slide and down in the description. So our key terms for today are going to be Mahmud of Ghazn, the Sultanate of Deli, Hindu devotional quotes, Bhakti, Sikhism, Kabir, Srivijaya, Ankor, Melaka, and Borobodur. Our key concepts for today are going to be the spread of Islam in South and Southeast Asia, the political and economic characteristics of South and Southeast Asia. So, northern India after the Gupta, so this is going to be after 500. Most of India reverted back to its regional states and controlled by small leaders or warlords. Well, with the introduction of Islam into northern India by Turkish immigrants, after 633, after the creation of Islam, it's going to be kind of spearheaded by a gentleman by the name of Mahmud of Ghazn. And Mahmud was a Turkish leader in Afghanistan who established a Muslim state in what is modern-day Afghanistan. And he made expeditions into northern India and began what is known as the Sultanate of Deli. Now, the Sultanate of Deli existed between 1206 and 1526 CE with numerous Turkish-Afghan dynasties. And really, Mahmud kind of started it, but it was really his successors who conquered northern India in about 1206. But there's some downsides, right? The Sultan's authority did not extend far beyond the capital. So yes, they controlled and they had influence, but they didn't really have much authority. And they generally tolerated non-Muslims as dhimmi, or subjects, as long as they paid the head tax or the jizya. Remember, Islam is very welcoming to other religions as long as they pay their tax. Now, the economics for the Sultanate of Delhi, they introduced a monetary system at the province and district level, but like with most civilizations, they do decline, and the decline of the Sultanate of Delhi is going to come out with the Mongols, and later with Timur the Lame. They both invaded and weakened it, and they finally fall to the Mughals in the 1520s, which we'll get to next unit. So again, here's a map of the Delhi Sultanate. Right, it covers most of northern India. Now, the development of Hinduism during this time is that the decline of Buddhism benefits Hinduism, and Hinduism really focused on devotional cults, they worship one aspect of Hinduism, and the two most popular were the devotion to Vishnu and Shiva, who are both archetypes for the universal soul. Now, Islam, with the invasion of Mahmud and his successors, it actually happens very slowly. The conversion to Islam occurred in a very slow, gradual way, and this occurred mainly through Sufis, who were the most effective missionaries, and they preached a devotional approach to Islam. They will appeal to the lower castes and women, right? Because Islam does treat everyone fairly equally, right? And this is also going to lead to some religious syncretism with Hinduism and Islam kind of combining to create a new religion. And this new kind of combination religion kind of starts off with the Bhakti movement, who preaches that there's no distinction between Hinduism and Islam. They taught a universal love and devotion. And the head of the Bhakti movement, the most important Bhakti leader, is going to be Kabir. And he preaches that Shiva, Vishnu, and Allah are all the same deity. And this gives rise to a new religion known as Sikhism. Now, some post-classical civilizations in Southeast Asia, we're going to have the Srivijaya, which maintained a sea trade between China and India by navy. So again, here is French Indochina, and again, you're going to have, this is going to be their kind of civilization where they maintain their trade. Right, and next is going to be Angkor, which is going to be built in modern-day Cambodians by the Khmer. And they had two Angkor. They had Angkor Thom, which was for Buddhism, and they had Angkor Wat for Hinduism. And their immense wealth was built on agriculture, rice surpluses. They had a centralized rule near the capital, and feudal systems in places further away from the capital. Now, the Thais are going to invade the capital in 1431, and the Khmers are going to abandon it. Then we have of course, Islam kind of is spreading in this time, and the Muslims are going to arrive in Sumatra, and the conversion to Islam is slow and quiet and restricted to cities, but strong syncretism and retention of Hindu and animism elements kind of create a very religious syncretic system. And then last we have Melaka, which is the first powerful Islamic state in Southeast Asia, and it's going to be based off controlling trade in the 15th century or the 1400s, and will be destroyed by the Portuguese when the Portuguese enter the Indian Ocean. Right, so again, Melaka is going to be the Malacca Sultanate in the Straits of Malacca, connected the Indian Oceans with the Indian civilizations, and the Pacific Ocean, which is going to be the East and Southeast Asian civilizations, such as China and Japan. And this is going to be one of the most important shipping lanes in the world for quite a long time. So again, here's a map of the Khmer Empire. We've already looked at Srivijaya, and then Melaka. So we also want to mention the largest Buddhist structure in the world, which is Borobodur. And again, this is built in Southeast Asia as a tribute to Buddhism. All right, so thank you guys for following along. Be sure you're completing your vocabulary and you're taking your notes. Thank you, and you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in class.